She hangs around the strike zone, spins it really well. She attacks the inside part of the plate, and that sets up her off speed.
The starting lineup brought to you by Capital One for Arizona. They can really mash. A lot of OPSs over 1,000 here. Harper, Mulipola, Palacios have been hot in this tournament. Mike Candrea has done it all, seen it all, trying to get back to Oklahoma City. And Anna Borgen has us underway. 12-6 the win for Arizona yesterday. Wildcats are 4-0 all-time against Ole Miss, trying to sweep through this regional. Janelle Mionio, great speed, but Michaela Alley, great arm. Perfect start for Ole Miss. Ole Miss defensively, top 15 team in the country. And Alley right there, only 3 errors all year at shortstop. Reina Caranco stands in for Arizona. Oh for 5 in the regional, but she has scored 3 times.
And in that number 2 spot, Caranco's really good at doing just about everything at the plate. She reads the defense well. She could drop a bunt. But we've seen throughout this weekend that hard dirt in front of home plate really being utilized by those slappers to get that high hop.
Five home runs in 2 games for Arizona. They're top 10 in the country in home runs per game. How does Ole Miss keep them in the ballpark today, especially with the wind blowing out?
You know, with the spin, Anna Borgen's got really nice spin, and even though it's a lot of up type spin, the in and the out, she keeps the ball down in the zone. So I think that that's important, but especially using that off speed, not allowing the Arizona Wildcats to sit back and drive anything solid.
Bobby DeMeo calling balls and strikes, said that was just off the plate. Part of the fine crew that's worked this weekend. 2-2 now. Jessie Harper waits on deck. You don't want to put anybody on ahead of the middle of this Arizona order. And as you pointed out, Amanda, it jumped out to me too. Anna Borgen has not issued a walk or hit a batter in the tournament. All good things must come to an end, and Reina Caranco is on. Jessie Harper on Friday, home run number 90 in her career, 5 away from the all-time record.
She's chasing it, and she's getting close, but Harper all career long has just been connecting on balls, hit them out of the ballpark, and they fly out of Hillenbrand.
She is 3 for 6 in the tournament, stands in with a runner on. She is keeping some pretty good company by reaching 90. Still 2 away, though, Amanda, from the Arizona record. It's a high standard.
You consider the hitters that have come through Arizona. I mean, they've been known to have some of the biggest hitters in the game, all under Coach Candrea. He's just such a tremendous hitting coach. But Jessie Harper doesn't look like the big bomber type of build, but she's got such great leverage and hand-eye coordination and bat speed.
There's an article this week from Josh Weinfuss on ESPN.com starting with Jim Harper doesn't have a good arm. Her dad was a kicker at Colorado. Throwing BP apparently not his specialty, because Jessie Harper can homer on just about any type of pitch, and her dad likes to take credit for that, saying she's a good bad ball hitter because I threw a lot of bad ones.
That's a great story, because Coach Candrea talks about Jessie Harper in that way as well. Sometimes she'll expand the zone a little. She can swing out of her shoes from time to time, but that's also why she's such a great hitter. She does not hold back. When she commits to swinging at the pitch, no matter where it is, she's swinging hard.
Borgen's 2-2. Stayed up for Latham in right, and the second out recorded.
She'll hit the long ball, but then with 2 strikes, she's protecting this pitch down and away. That's well placed off the plate outside. Look at Harper, stays down and just punches it through. Karanko thinks that's going to fall. And right off the bat, it looked like it might have had a chance, but she hangs tight to first base.
Out of the frying pan into the fire, Deja Mulipola stands in. Pac-12 leader with 19 home runs, including 2 yesterday. She struck out 3 times Friday against UMBC and Courtney Coppersmith. Saw her on-base streak come to an end at 19 games. She put that behind her in a hurry.
Yeah, she made a huge adjustment. Great hitters do. And you wonder now that she's facing Anna Borgen, it's kind of a similar look from Coppersmith. That pitch right there, actually one that Coppersmith was able to get her a couple of times on Friday.
Another hit for Mulipola. Karanko will hold at second base, with Tate Whitley bringing it in from center field. 2 on though for Arizona.
She shortens up her swing. She's tight on that chalk line and gets through on that inside pitch. That pitch probably could have been a little further inside for Mulipola. She just has so much power, even off the handle. Karanko looking to pick up Coach Candrea at third.
Now we've seen repeatedly this weekend, the top of the first, the bottom of the first have been big innings. Each pitcher needing to get through that first frame to feel comfortable. Oh, late and low strike called to Charlize Palacios.
Well, that's a pitch we haven't seen called very often this weekend. So if that's going to be called, that's where Borgen wants to live.
Not quite that low. By the way, yesterday, they walked Mulipola intentionally to load the bases for Palacios, and all she did was line a low pitch over the center field wall for a grand slam. Anna Borgen got in on the hands there, and Paige Smith can't find it. Could that come back to haunt them?
This has happened a number of times this tournament to that left side of the field. The third base, left field shortstop having a hard time tracking that ball. I know the sun is high and hot.
Full count now to Palacios. Alyssa Palomino Cardoza waits on deck. It's probably the biggest jam Borgen's been in this weekend. Alley at short can't pick it. And Ole Miss gets out of the inning. Anna Borgen keeping him in the ballpark and getting Ole Miss to the plate for the first time. Autumn Gillespie, Abby Latham are on fire. They're up. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. For Arizona, Hannah Bowen may have started the year as their number 3 option, but she has been the best arm in the circle the latter half of the season, Amanda.
Well, when Hannah Bowen's in the circle, you know what you're going to get. You're going to have somebody who hits their spots, mixes speeds really well, throws with nice velocity, but she's another fielder in the infield, which I think is so important. If you try to hit that ball on the ground anywhere up the middle, chances are Hannah Bowen can field it.
Time now for a look at our Capital One starting lineups. For Ole Miss, Behringer, Gillespie, and Latham all have at least 6 hits in the regional so far. They have been fantastic at the top.
Well, Behringer took that number 1 spot just yesterday, and rightfully so. She's getting on base a ton and really just getting that runner on for Latham and Gillespie, who have not been able to miss a ball.
You see 3 left-handed slappers in there. They added Naomi Jones yesterday, having seen how the field played and how effective slapping has been here. And Jamie Traxel, her first season at Ole Miss, took Minnesota to the Women's College World Series 2 years ago. And just on the job a year and a month, trying to get Ole Miss at least to a Game 7, if not to a Super Regional against Arkansas. That's what's on the line here. Ole Miss has to win twice, as Blaze Behringer leads off. She's the only Ole Miss player from Arizona. We've told you, played a lot of club softball in this stadium and has certainly thrived at home in front of her friends and family. Like, these numbers are good, but she's 6 for 11 this weekend.
Yeah, those are some pretty good numbers, given the stage that she's on.
Number 1 defense in the country, and they've had some hiccups this weekend. That's their 4th error of the weekend, as Harper was just moving too quickly.
Well, right off the bat, look at the spin on this ball. Inside outs it, moves away from the direction Harper's going, and she just moves through it a little too quickly.
They can really fly in the outfield and chase it down. And again, they are an outstanding defense. You don't run on Mulipola very often, as Autumn Gillespie lines this foul in the right field corner. Peanut Martinez, the right fielder, after the early lineup DP switch. I think she's the DP until the bottom of the first when she trots out to right field. Autumn Gillespie has been the leading hitter for Ole Miss this weekend. 6th-year senior. And she's down 0-2.
Gillespie, and she's tall. When she stands in there, her presence is so big, and that ball looks so low. Probably about as low in the strike zone as you're going to see today. But if it's going to be called consistently down there, we're going to have to make the adjustments.
She's been up 12 times this weekend. She's reached base 9 of them. 7 hits, including a double and a homer, 2 walks. Getting her out would be a step in the right direction for Hannah Bowen.
You can just see the way that she's seeing the ball. She's protecting the outside. She's turning hard on the inside. Look at her pace when she's getting ready to get into the box. She has a purposeful approach. She's aggressive. Toes are on that white chalk line.
Scorched once again. Another hit for Autumn Gillespie, 2 in scoring position for Ole Miss.
Gillespie can hit anything right now. That ball up at the letters, maybe a little too close, definitely too close when you're facing Gillespie, the way she's been swinging the bat, but drives that down the left field line. Mionyo up and gets it in. But 2 runners shift over into scoring position.
We told you the first inning, even for Bowen, her first start on Friday, and then even when she came in relief yesterday, a little shaky the first couple hitters before she settled down. So Ole Miss trying to take advantage of that. In the elimination game last night, Ole Miss scored 4 in the top of the first before anybody was out. First 6 reached against Villanova.
I think it's so important to jump on a team early in that first inning before they have a chance to get warmed up and get settled into the ball game. We've seen that happen a couple of times over this weekend.
Yeah, it's what Arizona did to Ole Miss yesterday. Led 8-0 through 2 innings. Now Abby Latham has been scorching the ball as well, but she's down 0-2. Paige Smith waits on deck. Ole Miss in front in the first. They're going to send the runner. It's cut off, and it's 2-0 Rebels.
Again with Latham, this is a 2-strike pitch, too good in the zone, but protecting quiet hands, quick hands through the zone, drives it left side. But let's talk about Autumn Gillespie's base running again. Not sure why this ball was cut off. Might have had a shot at Gillespie, but you almost don't think she's gonna go. She catches you off guard because she's so overly aggressive, and she challenges you to make plays on defense.
Taryn Moat, the pitching coach, who used to be the pitching coach at Ole Miss, out to the circle. Now yesterday, Amanda, I've got to bring this up. Mike Candrea in his post-game press conference said he thought Ole Miss was picking pitches. They knew what Alyssa Denham was throwing. We saw Autumn Gillespie sit on a changeup and hit it out. What do you look for when you're trying to find out, is that happening again?
You know, it's difficult. You have coaches that are sitting in the dugout trying to pick pitchers' tendencies. You can read a lot of times the way that the catcher shifts.
Oh, Carly scooping at first base helps out Bowen, and that top-ranked Arizona defense is at it again. Huge momentum swing.
Oh, big break here for the Wildcats. A nice piece of hitting, but right at Scoopin, who turns and gets Latham at first.
Well, if you have to get to Hannah Bowen early, Ole Miss did that. They've got their 2 runs. We'll see if she can settle in as effectively as she did against UMBC Friday and in relief against Ole Miss to get the save yesterday. How cool is it, by the way, to hear this building not at full volume yet, but at heightened playoff volume?
It's been fun. It's been fun, I think, for all the teams that have come to Hillenbrand Stadium. Just getting the nod for full capacity before the tournament started.
And if you haven't been there since the renovation, and that includes us, we haven't been there in person yet, you're going to want to put it on your list. Totally new grandstand. Really a different look and a tremendous upgrade to a facility that has had such great moments all through the years. Ole Miss not slowing down now. Sydney Gutierrez with the base hit. Nobody can hope to catch the Norman Regional in terms of runs, in terms of power. Oklahoma won their decisive game today 24-7, but we're seeing some hitting this weekend.
Wow, 24 runs in a game.
They scored 10 in the top of the 7th.
That team, I mean, you think at some point they're going to hit a roadblock, you know, a little. No, they're not. They just keep rolling. It doesn't matter who you face, who's in the circle. I mean, that team, 1 through probably 17, can hit that ball out of the ballpark.
Now, if you're a baseball fan, you may know A.J. Puck, pitcher in the A's organization. This is his younger sister, Jessie. You'd think she'd be tired of answering the questions about older brother, but every time I've seen her, she's handled it very well. Says, I have great siblings who I look up to, and he's one of them. He's on a rehab assignment in AAA right now, just a 7-hour drive away in Las Vegas. There are the signals coming in from the Arizona dugout. Moat passing them on to Carlos Armijo.
And Puck has been quiet at the plate this tournament. We talked about her coming in to this regional and the impact she could have in this lineup when we were talking about a lineup that needed to find ways to score runs. But this is a lineup right now that's getting it done 1 through 9. So really Jessica Puck can take her time and find her groove and not press.
They'll hold up the runner. Gutierrez took a couple of steps, and then maybe she remembered Deja Mulipola is going to play in the Olympics this summer, and I don't want to test that arm. Puck has not missed a start the last 3 years. This is her 144th consecutive start. Originally from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, but she did play her last year of softball over in California in high school.
When you think about that and the grind that these athletes go through year after year, the fact that she's avoided injury, even little injuries that could keep you out of a ball game or slumps or any reasons to be pulled, she has maintained that spot over 3 seasons.
And she started at 5 different positions too, by the way.
That's probably a big reason why she started in that many games. Hey, coach, put me anywhere you need me. And there's always going to be a spot that needs to be filled, especially if you're swinging the bat.
She's one of Jamie Traxel's seniors who has another year of eligibility, is expecting to come back, and is able to work a walk after a great plate appearance to make Hannah Bowen keep going in this first. Nine pitches in that plate appearance, and now we have another lefty slapper. They've been dangerous in this tournament, Naomi Jones. She was inserted as the DP for this game yesterday and is 3 for 5 this weekend out of Long Beach, California. Wants to go to law school. Has some business to take care of here first, and a few more classes.
A few more is an understatement.
She wasn't here 2 years ago. She was on the Super Regional Trail with Minnesota, but Arizona swept Ole Miss 2 years ago in this ballpark to go to the Women's College World Series. Everybody will hold as the throw comes in. Great throw from Mionio in left, and they're loaded up. Another hit for Jones, her 4th.
Oh, wow, Jones, look at the stance in the box. She's just trying to put the ball in play, trying for something in the dirt, but she finds that area just in front of Mionio down that left field line. A little slip, but she gets the ball in.
So it's the shortstop, Michaela Alley. She has the lowest average in the Ole Miss starting lineup. She's below the Mendoza line. But her OBP is always above 400. She walks, she gets hit by a pitch. See if she finds a way here. Already seen some of her defensive wizardry at short. Facing a 1-1 count. Mulipola thought that was the same as the 1-0 that was called a strike.
Well, it looked like it was on the same corner. The height was a little different. I thought the height on this pitch was a little better than the last.
No matter whether they get another run home across, Ole Miss has to be so encouraged by this bottom of the first. It's a 2-2. Might drop. 4 runs across in the first inning for Ole Miss. What a start.
I'm convinced this rally is because these Ole Miss hitters are having good quality at-bats. Each athlete stepping into the box is seeing good pitches, laying off the ones out of the zone, and maybe not connecting solid, but taking good swings at good pitches. When you do that, good things happen, and obviously Ole Miss benefiting from just having quality at-bats.
Wow. We told you the first innings have been big momentum swings in this regional. Ole Miss all the way to the number 9 hitter. Jessie Harper retires her, but 4 runs across for Ole Miss. They'll hand that lead to their ace, Anna Borgen. Arizona trailing for the first time in the postseason.
This is the party that every player wants to be at.
It's going to be passionate softball for sure.
Back to crown a national champion for the first time since 2019. They get to chase history here.
Women's College World Series back June 3rd. This is our part of the bracket. The winner of this is at Arkansas in Fayetteville next weekend. Arkansas getting by Stanford today after beating South Dakota State as well in that regional. 13 tickets already punched. How about James Madison, the only non-Power 5 team advancing so far? And UCLA giving the Pac-12 some representation there, Amanda.
Yeah, this has been a fun tournament. Virginia Tech coming out of that Tempe regional. Just watching James Madison against Tennessee and Liberty, that was a really tough one. Tough for Tennessee to drop that, but James Madison is just doing a great job.
So, Arizona trailing for the first time this weekend, down 4-0 in the second. Remember, they led 8-0 yesterday, and Ole Miss climbed back to 8-6, so there's a lot of time left. Anna Borgen looking for the shutdown inning. Sixth-year senior from Mission Viejo, California. Couple of ACL tears early in her career. Did miss some time injured this spring, but has reached base in 7 straight.
I saw a social media post of Alyssa's this morning of her just standing at home plate gazing out over the center field wall and saying last day, last game at Hillenbrand, it just kind of hits you that for some of these athletes, this is it. The journey ends here, or for a lot of them, this could be or has been their last game in their home stadium.
Off the glove of Behringer and into right. We told you Ole Miss is good defensively, but a little step there gives Arizona a window.
And Palomino Cardoza turns hard, gets a couple of good hops, and Behringer just out of her reach.
And will go down as a single for Palomino Cardoza. Now at the plate, Carly Scupin, the outstanding freshman, who you might say is potentially running into a freshman wall. The average has dipped a little, and she's 0 for 7 in the regional. But, I mean, Mike Candrea just speaks in glowing terms about her potential and what he's going to expect for the next few years.
Well, you talk about the power in that lineup historically, and Skupin no different. Look at the size and strength in her hands. He talks about bat speed.
Amanda, he said the highest bat speed I've ever seen. This is an Olympic gold medal winning coach.
Right, and you think about the athletes that have come through that program, that is, he's seen something that has caught his eye, that's for sure.
Inside outs that one. Tough sun field, it drops. The sunglasses on Jessie Puckin left. She still couldn't find it. I don't know if she could have reached it had she seen it clearly. 2 on, nobody out.
I'm really curious about that sun in left field. You could see the shade coming over the field. And remember, this stadium is new. That the overhang over the stands is new, so it's creating that shadow. But I'm wondering if it's having an effect on the sun as well, somehow creating a glare or something extra. I've just never seen the ball play this way in Hillenbrand.
Malia Martinez, the number 8 hitter. Puck trying to see this one, and she hauls it in. I think she was more comfortable than everybody else watching her.
She did a really good job of remaining stable and holding that glove up until the last second. That's what you have to do. If your glove is blocking the ball, you know the ball's right behind it. So keep it there as long as possible. She did a good job of holding on.
The number 9 hitter, Peanut Martinez. Again, she is the DP, and that designation remains for the game, but she'll play right field throughout. We saw a little DP flex maneuver in the Villanova lineup help them out by getting a speedier runner on yesterday, and because Hannah Bowen is a hitting pitcher, she is the flex, and so they could insert her in this spot at any time. That's why Peanut Martinez is designated as the DP.
Gotta love that crowd at Hillenbrand. And you really do, both sides of the field. Even if you're the opposing team, you love when a crowd is into it. They give you energy too.
Allie's going to third and has the lead runner. She knew she was only going to get 1 out, and if I'm going to get 1, it's the play at third.
And this is really nice footwork to charge the ball, don't give it an extra hop. And then to switch her feet quickly and throw a strike over to Smith at third.
To the top of the order, Janelle Mionio, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. Blazing speed, takes a strike. Second-year freshman out of Hacienda Heights, California. She was batting 9th at the beginning of the year when Karanko broke her thumb. Karanko, the number 2 hitter, she moved up top. Never looked back. When you put together a 27-game hit streak, they tend to keep you up in the lineup.
Give you as many at-bats as possible.
Floats that one to left. Another tough play. Puck makes it. And Ole Miss is out of the second. This is Anna Borgen's MO. Runners on base, none score. Ole Miss up early. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. We're down to the final 3 regionals, trying to book tickets for next weekend. Arizona needs 1 win to get there yet again. Ole Miss needs to win this one and a decisive 7th game in the regional later tonight to advance. And Ole Miss off to a perfect start, leading 4-0 as they bat as the home team in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Alongside the UCLA All-American Amanda Freed, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Hannah Bowen in the circle for Arizona has been great this weekend. She had thrown 9 innings, a win and a save. She'd only given up 5 hits. She's given up 5 early, now 6. Blaise Behringer, happy to be home, is on again.
Well, we were just speaking volumes to the power that we saw to these 2 teams yesterday, and here we are, just chipping away with the mishits, falling in front of the outfielders, and these are just out of the reach of multiple athletes, so it's, God, just a lot of lucky breaks on both sides.
All right, Autumn Gillespie, 8 for 11 in the regional with 2 walks. It's absurd. How much ground does she cover between pitches? Do we get some sort of tracker on her?
That. We should. That'd be fun. But she's quick, and she's in it.
She's adventurous on the base paths. We saw that against Villanova. Don't run on her. She's got another hit. Unless Peanut Martinez can get it to second in time. 2 on, nobody out again.
I mean, you wonder as a pitcher, what am I supposed to throw? Where can I put this that is out of the reach of Gillespie? Look at the location of this pitch. It's below the kneecaps. Maybe could have been a little further outside, but still, she had room to cover further ground over the plate. But Gillespie just going both sides of the field, ripping down the left field and then going with it to right.
And Behringer had the read to break for second because that was bang, bang. Jessie Harper was doing the splits, and Behringer gets in there. And Ole Miss has knocked Bowen out after 1+ innings. It's going to be Mariah Lopez coming on in the second. Wow. Well, these teams hoping they're on the road to the Women's College World Series, which is back in Oklahoma City, starting Thursday, June 3rd, noon Eastern on ESPN. For more information on the 2021 Women's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Arizona is there year after year. They had a little bit of a drought, but they were there the last time we convened in OKC in 2019. Hannah Bowen was playing second base on that team, by the way. That's why she didn't pitch in the Super Regional 2 years ago. And she gives way to Mariah Lopez, who was there for Oklahoma, now in her second year with Arizona. What do we expect, Amanda?
Well, Mariah, they're expecting her to eat up some innings here and get through the rest of this ball game. She'll keep the ball up in the zone. That's her strength. But she has been performing very well late in the season. She'll throw mid-60s. They just need to give Ole Miss a different look at this point.
Abby Latham, another scorching hot Ole Miss hitter. Singled in 2 runs in the first. Ooh. Strike called in the river. Hannah Bowen's numbers at the moment.
Now there's 7 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned run. But I mean, Ole Miss has been putting the ball in play. When you do that, you make things happen.
Yeah, because 3 of those 4 runs were scored with, or one was the error on Harper who reached, and then 2 more were scored with 2 outs. So that error would have ended the inning. Now, that's not the last we've seen of Hannah Bowen in this regional, you would think. Lopez got the win in relief yesterday. And there's that rise. Finally, they get Latham chasing.
And a rare occurrence to get Latham out in general, but to get her out on a strikeout, that pitch had to have a ton of movement. Latham has just been connecting and on fire, and that's her first strikeout of the series.
Lopez, by the way, for her career is 70-6. And they were really encouraged by the way she threw against UCLA the last weekend of the regular season. Had the screwball working at the knees to set up the rise. And that's the pitch there that evens the count.
This is a nice pitch, good location. Mulipola makes it look even better the way she kind of carries it slightly higher into the zone.
It's in foul territory, so no infield fly rule, but Mulipola able to haul it in, 2 down. Arizona spells relief M-A-R-I-A-H.
It's just a different pace in the circle. Throwing that up spin. Lopez is so good at throwing the rise ball at the chest, and she's getting Ole Miss to bite at it.
Sydney Gutierrez, her second hit of the regional back in the first. That was after the line drive double play had cleared the bases, and her single restarted the rally. Ole Miss has to win twice to force Game 7 in this regional. They've never beaten Arizona. Off to a great start, though. All 4 runs in the first.
Murray is looking very confident in her pitches right now. That screwball low in the zone, that one a little higher, and then she will come with that rise ball.
It's funny how you go into a weekend expecting one thing and something completely different happens. We thought Alyssa Denham and the drop were going to be regulars this weekend, and we still may see her and see that drop, but it's been Bowen and Lopez producing the goods.
And mostly it's been offense. The offense has been fun to watch.
That we did expect. Gutierrez fights that off. What a grab in left. Mioño fighting the sun, hauling it in, and keeping it a 4-0 game.
Mioño in left field, saving a run, maybe 2. Her team will be up next.
We were playing softball in February here in Clearwater.
The amount of great matchups that we have and great teams here, unparalleled.
We have some of the best talent in the country.
The best ticket, the hardest ticket to get in town.
If you are a softball fan, this is a place that you want to be.
We will be back at the beach and better than ever, the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational next February. Not that far from me right now, the Eddie Seymour Complex in Clearwater. Check out the website for more information. We hope to see you there February 2022. Some of the best programs from across the country will be there. Plenty of teams you've seen across the ESPN networks and over on the 7 Innings channel this postseason. Top of the third inning here. Ole Miss, the home team, has to beat the true hosts, Arizona, twice to advance to the Super Regionals. And the Wildcats bat in the top of the third. The number 2 hitter, Reina Caranco, leads it off. What is the mentality in the dugout? What is the message when teams are behind? Because we've seen teams in this regional, Villanova coming from 3-0 down to beat UMBC, both Ole Miss and Villanova closing deficits. How are they able to rebound as that one is out to left and puck battling the sun makes the grab for the first out?
I think really it's just going back to routine and what you've done all season long. Still early in the ball game, top of the third, and we've seen across the country and in this tournament how quickly that score can shift and the momentum can shift. So sometimes it takes a mishit, sometimes it takes good hustle, a good at bat, even if the result is a strikeout. But it's doing the little things that lead to the momentum that will eventually lead to a comeback.
And sometimes it takes a banana phone, right?
Yeah, somebody dial it up.
That was in the Villanova game last night. It was worth seeing. They literally wrote phone numbers on the peel of a banana, and the home run hitter was on the phone, and then she got up to the plate and crushed one out, Allie Jones. We had a good laugh with that for 3 innings or so.
Yeah, well, so did they. The banana was being passed.
Speaking of home run hitters, though, Jesse Harper at the plate, down in the count, 0-2. Jessie Puck is staying busy out there. She's got the sunglasses. She's got it done. And maybe Arizona needs to find this banana phone. This was awesome last night. Allie Jones from Villanova.
Well, it worked. I mean, they were on the phone with somebody. Allie Jones went up there and she just crushed. And then, I'm not sure if that was the phone or just a part of the bunch, but you gotta save that phone. It worked.
I think if that was part of the same bunch, it might have had some sort of other properties, but Villanova, great part of this regional, getting their first NCAA tournament win ever yesterday, coming from behind to beat UMBC. And then it was really a shame they couldn't get started in the nightcap against Ole Miss. First 6 hitters reached. Ole Miss was up 4-0 before Villanova even came to bat. And after that, it was a 2-2 game. But they just didn't have enough arms in the circle able to keep them in it. And that often, Amanda, is the difference with Pac-12, SEC, Big 12, ACC, Big 10, all the Power 5 schools. Just the pitching staffs are deeper.
The pitching staffs are definitely deeper, and you just have to come out in that first inning prepared. You know, if you open the door, if you breathe any life into your opponent and they capitalize, it's hard to play comeback throughout the game.
You get an idea of Deja Mulipola's power there. The 2-run shot she hit yesterday was impressive. Cleared the bleachers in left field. Gave Arizona some breathing room in that one as they won it 12-6. She was already planning to sit out the 2020 season, wasn't here, was preparing for the Olympics with the national team. Drives that one for extra bases. No, she'll put on the brakes. Tate Whitley in center got to that quickly. It almost left the yard.
Well, Mulipola hit it too hard for extra bases and not high enough for that home run, but the longest single you'll see. Great connection. Deja's been seeing the ball really well this tournament. That is about a ball away from going over that fence. Look at how close it hits the top.
Who bats behind her? Charlize Palacios. Her heir apparent at catcher. And one of the best hitters in this regional, 6 for 9 after a ground out in the first. They'll appeal. No swing, says Alex Leap at first. That's a big decision.
Now, we have not seen that off speed thrown like that this often in this game. Too often in this game, I should say, up to this point.
Got in on the hands that time.
Now, if that off speed can be used more often and in the strike zone, that's a really great compliment to that hard inside. You see how hard Charlize Palacios turned on that inside pitch. Those are two opposite ends of the speed spectrum where you're adjusting 20 miles an hour almost difference between what feels like that hard inside.
That's her sister Sachelle nail biting. Sachelle played for Arizona State. She now plays for the Mexican national team. And they got to play against each other earlier this year in an exhibition with Mexico against Arizona. And I know that was really special for that family.
It was fun to see the national teams kind of tour around and play these collegiate teams. Arizona had a chance to play Team USA, Team Mexico. And a lot of those athletes on Team Mexico played, obviously, in the U.S. on these teams.
She waited on the changeup, and she got all of it just off the wall. And Mulipola has to hold at third. Two resounding singles have Arizona threatening.
The only reason this ball didn't leave the ballpark is because it was hit off a changeup. But Palacios put everything into that swing, almost identical to where Mulipola's ball landed on that wall. Mulipola over to third. Palacios stands up with another long single.
Arizona has stranded 2 runners on base in each of the first 2 innings. They have 2 on again for Alyssa Palomino Cardoza. strikes now on Palomino Cardoza. Borgen, no strikeouts today. She's not a strikeout pitcher, but every hit Arizona has had has been a single.
That's what it's about, stringing single together. But Borgen just trying to end this inning right here.
She had a rough stretch at the end of the regular season, Borgen. Stopped going quite as deep into games. Alabama lit her up, and who hasn't Alabama lit up? Terrific so far this weekend, though.
Yeah, games like that really do prepare you. If you have the right mindset going in against a team like Alabama, knowing you're not going to be perfect, you're going to come away with a lot of lessons learned. And if you play your cards right, you'll be a better pitcher as a result. And I think it's what's happened to Anna Borgen is facing that competition now. Nothing's too big for her. She knows she can be successful against the best.
Her first strikeout of the day, and it is a huge one. Anna Borgen and Autumn Gillespie fired up. 6 runners stranded from Arizona through 3 innings.
And Borgen, a huge strikeout. Alyssa Palomino Cardoza. Ole Miss going back to...
Ole Miss needs to win twice today, and they jumped out in a hurry. An error on the first play of the game in the bottom of the first for Jessie Harper opened the door. Autumn Gillespie, Abby Latham, and Ole Miss took full advantage, up 2-0 here, and they weren't done in that first.
Oh, and then it kept going. Gutierrez, alley, a 2-run shot to left field. He ended up plating. Ole Miss did 4 in that first inning. Didn't give Arizona even an opportunity to make a play, just finding the gaps, running the bases well, making good decisions, and put that 4 spot up.
Second straight game, Ole Miss has scored 4 in the first. They went on to beat Villanova 6-2 in Game 5 of the tournament last night. Now they knocked Hannah Bowen out when the first 2 reached in the second, but Arizona went to Mariah Lopez, and she shut it down on 13 pitches to get the next 3 hitters. So there's going to be some adjustments needed for Ole Miss against a different type of pitcher. Puck had a great at bat, walked on 9 pitches in the first and came around to score.
Sometimes all it takes is a nice long at bat to turn a slump around. Puck has been struggling a little in this tournament.
They weren't happy with the call on the first pitch of the plate appearance, but that one nipped the corner, 2-2.
That screwball, the rise ball, mixing in the curve.
Pretty nice to have a number 3 arm who was getting wins in the Women's College World Series finals just a few years ago.
And if you're Ole Miss looking at this matchup with Arizona, you're really focusing on Denham and Bowen. That's who's been getting the majority of the innings. And the fact that Lopez is in here doing what she's doing is a bonus for Arizona.
Slump busting Jessica Puck into left field and a leadoff single.
Well, she just wanted to be a part of this slugfest. Puck out front on an off speed, holds the hands back, takes it to left field. Another leadoff hit.
And now the wheels are turning. The speedy slapper Naomi Jones having a great tournament. This only
Well,
her 17th start of the year.
And right now, Ole Miss wants to take advantage of her short game. Put the ball down in the dirt, get puck over to second. If Jones gets on, it's even better.
Malia Martinez to second. They can't hold on. Safe at second. Karanko thought she had picked the ball up off the dirt after the initial drop, but it's 2 on and nobody out.
Probably wouldn't have been a double play, but a sure first out at second base. Martinez is way up the line, makes a nice grab, and then Karanko just unable to hold on to that throw across the diamond.
She did pick it up, but I don't know that her foot was on the base when she picked it up. And there's going to be some conversations for a lot of people. Calvin Walker, the second base umpire, assuring Mike Candrea of what he saw. Looks like he will ask for help. I find it very hard to believe anyone else is going to overturn him here. No replay in the NCAA tournament. Some conferences had it in play this year. I think if I had to wager a guess, we'll see it in the next few years for the NCAA tournament.
The ball out. Oh,
I think she
that's
probably was out.
tough. Right, that's tough to tell. Happened quickly. You know, if Mike
Very
Candrea asks
possibly.
you to ask, you ask. You know, and that's a tough call to overturn.
That's called a ball as Allie was thinking about bunting. And if you're scoring at home, they did give it as an error against Karanko, the second baseman, so Malia Martinez gets an assist. And again, hat tip if you are scoring at home. Now 2-0, and Mariah Lopez with an extra long stare at Bobby DeMeo. Allie 2-run single in the first. But at the 8th spot, again, lowest batting average in the order, this is certainly a bunt situation.
Well, Allie's getting over that plate with that bunt. Her toes are already up on the chalk line, and Mariah Lopez just trying to hit that inside part of the plate.
Do you bunt take here?
I mean, you're definitely taking. With the spin of the rise ball, you don't want to risk bunting it up into the air.
Michaela Alley, who gets hit all the time, heads down to first.
So watch when she comes down how far over that box she is. Her foot, when she pivots, goes outside of the batter's box. So that ball's not over the plate, but it's definitely not that far inside. So I think
But
it
if it
was.
hits the bat, it's a foul ball, which is what I thought.
Yeah, and that actually looks like with the split grip that it hits the handle, not the hand.
I guess they're going to let her take first. In real time, I thought for sure it was a foul ball. She's the leader of the HBP crew, and she's aboard. Bases
So
loaded,
emotions-
nobody out in the third.
Right, emotions are high right now, so even little things like that get you Get your heart rate going.
Whitley makes them pay with a liner to left. 2 are going to come home to score. They do get the runner at third, though, the first out. But it is 6-0 Ole Miss.
Right out the gates, first pitch swinging into left field, beautifully placed. Runners are off. Gets away from Mionyo, then this tag here. Allie thinking she's safe, the ball clearly beats her, and there's a conversation about it.
Jamie Traxel looked like she wanted to call on replay, which they have in the SEC during the season. Not an option. But Alyssa Palomino Cardozo with a great throw there. 8-5 on the putout. 6-0 Ole Miss, though, and those calls, as we go back to that play. Yeah, not close. Assuming she's getting her there.
Yeah, I think they're arguing that Allie's leg kind of swooped around and missed the tag. But when the ball's there that far in advance, it's really hard to argue something like that.
But the call at second base, that didn't go Arizona's way. Really close call. Maybe would have been overturned on replay. And then the hit by pitch, which again, tough decision. Both go Ole Miss's way, and they add a couple runs. Now a runner at third with 2 down. Now, by the way, Arizona, the best defense in the country by fielding percentage. 2 errors in this one. And both critical, leading to extra at-bats and ultimately runs. And oh yeah, it's Autumn Gillespie up again with a runner at third.
Well, you would typically think about putting her on, but definitely not with Latham behind her. I mean, you really just have to go right at her.
Ole Miss has to win this one. Then we would have a game 7. Arizona would be the home team. That would be winner take all for a spot against Arkansas in the Super Regional.
The crowd is not liking it. Could be inside by a bit. Mooly-Pool is just so good at making it look good. And that's a borderline pitch.
This is the 3rd time through the Ole Miss order. 8 of the 9 Rebels with a hit so far. Gillespie swings 3-1. Harper makes the play, but 2 more come across for Ole Miss. And we'll hear from the head coach, Jamie Traxel, when we come back. Rebels thinking about a game 7. Jamie Traxel, the Ole Miss coach, joining us. 6-0 lead on Arizona. Jamie, 2nd straight day, 4 runs in the first inning. What's led to those hot starts?
Just being ready to go from the get-go. Our team's ready. Like we said before, we have 10 seniors that have been here before. We're a player-led team, and they're ready. They're leading this thing right now, and we're ready. These guys are intense, and we came here to compete and stay in here as long as possible today.
And Coach, you had a lot of options on your bench. Your pitchers, your staff is deep. I'm curious to know the thought process going into today, knowing that you want to go 2 games starting Borgen in the circle.
Win one. It's really that simple. Win one. Playoffs are about one thing and one thing only, and that's to survive last man standing. But Anna's done a great job for us, and she's the pitcher that we feel most comfortable coming out here winning the game.
Jamie, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
She came into an experienced group, named the head coach last April after these players had completed the shortened season with the interim coach Ruben Felix following Mike Smith's kind of abrupt departure in the fall of 2019. 10 players on this team were in the Super Regionals here 2 years ago, getting swept by Arizona. And so you heard her say, player-led, they drive it, and they have driven Ole Miss into a great spot, leading 6-0, still facing one of the most potent offenses in college softball. With the Olympic gold medalist, Amanda Freed, I'm Jonathan Yardley. So glad you're joining us. What a great weekend of action throughout the country, whether you're watching on the 7 Innings channel or picking out this game in particular. It's been fun. And Arizona trailing for the first time in the regional. Jamie Traxel, co-head coach at North Dakota State, then struck out on her own at Iowa State and Minnesota. Both of those teams made regional finals today, but lost. And now her first year at Ole Miss. Carly Skupin finally gets into one. Puck can't hold it. And Skupin will be in at second.
That's Carly Skupin getting her first hit of this regional. Her Wildcats needed it at this point, anything to get the thing going, to get the offense moving. I saw a ton of it yesterday, not much today, but Skupin getting things going here in the fourth.
Boy, that is a tough Sun field. As we see Julia Koutsianopoulos running at second. She'll stay in to play first base more than likely. But Puck was running, it looked like she was running from the shadow that she's in now. And then her face went into the sunlight. And even wearing sunglasses, that's a tough adjustment, and it was split seconds before the ball arrived. It goes as a double for Skupin. And a bright start for Arizona here.
Now she ran
Watch
a long
her
way
head.
to go get this. Yeah, it's tough as an outfielder when you're running that distance hard anyways. Your head bounces around a little, but then going from shadow to sun makes a difficult transition.
That's absolutely crushed. Malia Martinez has Arizona back in it.
Well, Malia Martinez joining in this hit fest. Arizona getting some production from the bottom of the lineup. Martinez sits on it and takes it out of the ballpark.
Their first 5 hits had all been singles. Here in the fourth, double, home run to dead center. Behringer gets the first out here in the fourth.
Well, just goes to show how critical those last couple of runs were for Ole Miss. You have to keep plugging away. No lead is too big when you're facing a team like Arizona.
Top of the order, Janelle Mioño. Strike zone seems to have squeezed a little bit for both pitchers at the moment. She'll head for second. In there safely, ball gets away, and Mionio is fired up.
Mionio's fired up. This stadium is fired up. Hillenbrand dirt, that hard dirt. They know how to use it. Look at that high hop. Nothing you can do to defend that. Allie tries to pick it, trickles away. Mionio, she's not stopping around in first. She's thinking 2 all the way.
They've given it as a single and an error, which is a bit harsh for me, because for Allie to even get that ball, I thought was pretty impressive. Off the bat, I was like, that's a double. But it doesn't matter too much. Mionio's at second with 1 out for Irena Karanko. He was way out in front of that changeup.
Yeah, sitting back. It's a great pitch.
Mionio heads for third, and she's in there with 2 down after Whitley tracked down the fly ball.
Great base running by Mionio. Whitley going deep to the warning track. Runs it down. Mionio waits for that catch before heading to third.
Not too many players you'd rather have up there. Jessie Harper, 2 outs, a runner at third. Three runs across in the inning for Arizona as Harper comes through again.
Wasting no time. First pitch, Harper. Left field, inside the chalk lines. Mionio scores. Does her job, plating another run for the Wildcats.
Took them only 5 pitches to score that run after Martinez's ground out. And now Mulipola and Palacios with the runner on. Riker Chasen, the Ole Miss pitching coach, discussing with Gillespie and the lefty Borgen.
You're still throwing with a 3-run lead. You are facing Deja Mulipola, so you want to make sure, well, you're not going to intentionally put her on. You got to be careful with where you put these pitches.
I don't think that was intentional based on the meeting, but it works out to put her on.
Well, you know what? When you're facing somebody like that as a pitcher and you're going inside, in your mind you're thinking, well, I'm not going to miss that inside corner. And when I don't miss, it's going to be further inside than over the plate. I'm not going to let Deja get to me. So it's, you know, really no damage done.
That being said, they avoided her yesterday, and Charlize Palacios hit a grand slam. And she's up as the tying run. Seven for 10 in the tournament. Off the glove of Allie, everybody's safe, but it stayed on the infield. Bases loaded.
But Palacios just crushed this pitch right at Allie at shortstop. She's almost able to get a handle on it, but that thing gets up over the heel.
I mean, it was hit so hard there was no time to even get in front of it where she could have had a force out. They didn't give her an error earlier, as it turned out. They do now. Bases loaded, 2 down. Palomino Cardoza ahead in the count. Arizona already left 6 on base today. This side of the field has been tough going, but Puck is there. 3 more runners left on base. Mike Candrea is going to be a little bit happier, but probably not much when we talk to him after this. Arizona plates 3. The Arizona head coach Mike Candrea joins us. And Mike, you guys have had some serious momentum swings in your 2 games with Ole Miss so far. Yeah. How are you feeling about your team's response to that 6-0 hole?
Well, I think that's what's important, and I like the response, and we just got to put some zeros on the board, and I think we can get back in this ball game.
And Coach, you got 7 athletes playing here at Hillenbrand. Yep. Tremendous feeling for the last time in their careers. I'm just curious what the message was to your team going into today.
Hey, compete, have some fun, play hard, and it's the same message we've had all year. Very uncharacteristic start, but it's kind of the way it goes. So you have to regroup and move forward. And I think they know what's on the line. It's just they need to relax, play the game, and again, we need to pitch well. We need to play good defense, and we need to get some timely hits.
Thanks for your time, Mike.
Right.
Good luck.
Take care.
Well, they've got 3 runs. They haven't lost this year when they do that. 33-0. But they are still in a hole here, and 3 at-bats left for Arizona. Three, 4, and 5 up for Ole Miss, trying to give Anna Borgen a bit of a rest and maybe get some runs back. Mariah Lopez in the circle had to come on in the 2nd, and for the most part has steadied the ship. 2 runs, 1 earned against her last inning.
But every Ole Miss leadoff has been getting on, so it's important here to attack Latham, try to get her down, shift a little of that momentum.
Fander on the rise back in the 2nd. This time Latham fouls it back to the screen. Got her to reach for it, and it hangs up there for Peanut Martinez. And that's Alyssa Denham throwing in the Arizona bullpen. Has been their ace most of the year. Rough start yesterday, but again, we expect to see her today. Mariah Lopez getting it done right now.
Yeah, this is where it gets fun. 2nd time through the lineup facing Mariah.
Everybody talks about her rise. That was a pretty nice location right there.
Yeah, pitchers who can throw it down near the knees, at the waist, at the letters, inside, outside. And then hit that spot outside. It's a really great complementing pitch.
Ole Miss jumped out to a 6-0 lead. 4 in the bottom of the 1st. Added to it with a pair in the 3rd. But Arizona coming off an inning where they scored 3 and left the bases loaded. Taryn Moat McKinney on the left, Carlos Armijo on the right. You know, Borgen pitching for Ole Miss is actually one of the pitchers that Moat McKinney did work with. She was the Ole Miss pitching coach 2015 to 17. So she won't say it during the game, but afterwards there will be a little bit of pride for her performance. It's an 0-2.
Ooh, that's a tough pitch. That's where you want it with 0-2. That's where you're trying to put it as a pitcher. I don't know where this is, but that's tough to lay off of with 2 strikes.
Inside out, jams her. Jessie Harper has out number 2. Now Lopez early in the year, Amanda, was getting torched in the Pac-12, giving up home runs, right? The Rise was being hit. And again, against UCLA last weekend and now this weekend. What's the difference? What's making her more effective?
Well, the Rise ball can go one of 2 ways. You always hear you want to keep the ball down in the zone, but if you put the Rise ball in a good corner, it can be very effective. Keep it down through the belt line, through the waist, the chest area, tight inside. It's a really uncomfortable pitch, and I think Mariah's doing a good job right now of making it look like it's good, and then it just spins out of the zone.
All right, Amanda, people like me, I can only tell the Rise when it's up at a batter's eyes, right?
Right.
How many of these other pitches or rises that she's throwing that are belt down?
Probably the majority of them. The ones that are going inside, and you can tell that those are the screwballs. The ones that have the tail down, likely going to be a drop ball, but that's a screwball. Anything that she kind of brings up that it might look like it doesn't move has a little bit of a Rise ball effect to it, at least a lot of spin. So that's why you're seeing a lot of foul balls, a lot of uncomfortable contact. Rise balls are hard to identify.
Hit hard through the right side, and Sydney Gutierrez has 2 hits today. Kind of feel like that was important for Ole Miss not to go down 1-2-3 to make Lopez work and not let Arizona establish so much momentum.
You do have that feeling that there could have been a giant momentum shift had that been a 1-2-3 inning. Arizona just left the bases loaded, but getting that base hit, that really sends a message.
Screwball missed. Regional final, game 6 of this regional. Ole Miss has to win twice. Arizona needs a W in either game to advance to Fayetteville, Arkansas in the Super Regionals. Yesterday, Arizona led 8-0. Ole Miss got it back to 8-6 before Arizona pulled away. 12-6 was the final. Today, Ole Miss jumps out in front, 6-0. But Arizona has responded. 3 runs in the top of this inning. Amanda Freed, Jonathan Yardley watching with you. 3 tickets left for the 16-team Super Regional round next weekend. Janelle Mionio pockets that one, and Arizona can try and continue their momentum at the plate. Wildcats coming to the bat.
The bracket is out. We are anxious to talk about it.
Game's going to come down to, can you beat Alabama twice?
I think the Seminoles, if those bats wake up, they're going to be tough to beat.
I don't think George Washington gets enough credit with Sierra Lang and Jenna Cohn.
We don't know how good these Big Ten teams are.
Gabby Plain, 302 strikeouts. That's insane numbers to me.
A reminder, you can join the Women's College World Series talent team for the 7 Innings Podcast. Weekly podcast dedicated to everything happening around college softball. Follow at 7 Innings Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and of course in the ESPN app. Catch the podcast on iTunes, in the ESPN app, wherever you get your podcasts. 7 innings, key to the coverage of this regular season, but now the postseason as well. We're at Rita Hillenbrand Stadium in Tucson. Amanda Freed and Jonathan Yardley watching this with you as Arizona tries to come from behind in this game to sweep the regional. Carly Scupin hits another liner. That's a great sign for Arizona, but Tate Whitley able to read it and hold on.
Now that sun is finally starting to go down. We're going to see shade all over the field, which will be a big relief for these outfielders. Whitley, a nice job tracking that ball.
We didn't get to talk about her. Scupin re-entered there to bat. She'll go back to first base. Getting her bat going would really diversify this Arizona offense and deepen it. Malia Martinez, another double-digit home run spot. She's got 11 now after her 2-run blast in the 4th. You know, her favorite career moment was the 2019 Super Regional against Ole Miss. She might have a new one.
She just absolutely crushed this ball over that wall in center field. I just love watching these athletes smile and have a good time, and the receptions at the plate and in the dugout. It really means something to them. This year more than ever, you get the sense that this is special.
She put that right over the part of the wall that had her name and number on it. Alley can't come up with that one either. He's singing Michaela Alley's praises at short, and she had made every play early in this regional, but it's been a challenge today. Three errors all season coming into the tournament, 2 today.
And this is a difficult play, but one that Michaela Alley makes all season long. To her left, gets up over the glove.
So we will see Isabella Dayton. She was going to Ole Miss before the coaching change. They said, what drew you to Ole Miss? She's like, I got to the campus. I loved it. But a coaching change, a little uncertainty there, and she winds up at Arizona. Has just been a pinch runner in this regional so far. She's got a hit off the bench. Martinez holds it second. Arizona threatens for the 5th straight frame.
We have seen some big-time pinch hitting performances in this regional. Isabella Dayton with a big opportunity moves Martinez over to second, gets herself a base hit.
Let's hear it for the pinch hitters. We had pinch
It's
hit
hard enough
home
to be a
runs
pinch
last
hitter.
night. Yeah.
Right.
You know, one of the more dramatic pinch hits yesterday, not in our regional, but for George Washington, Jenna Cohn was banged up and they got her a final at bat. and she was able to come through with a hit and limp to first base in her last game. Saw that on the 7 Innings podcast Twitter. That was pretty cool to see. Mionio in the air. Extra bases. 6-4 in the tying run at second.
Mionio's not an extra base hitter, not a home run hitter, I should say. So you're playing shallow depth in the outfield. The infield's pinched in, and she takes it deep to the wall. Malia Martinez sees it drop. She heads for home. Dayton turning the corner, going to third.
Jamie Traxel trying to calm down this veteran group and have them face forward. Second and third, 1 out. As Ava Tillman, who's pitched in every game of this regional for Ole Miss, continues to warn.
And you know, Ole Miss's plan is to go with Morgan as long as possible, knowing that they want to go into that second game with some fresh arms. So Tillman getting ready in the bullpen, but so far Anna Borgen has still been throwing a nice ball game. You just got to be ready to make that change before the momentum goes too heavily on the side of the Wildcats.
Reina Caranco, the number 2 hitter. They pull the infield in all the way around for her. Will try and cut off the run at home if possible. Obviously, player to hit away in the outfield with the wind blowing to left. Waiting behind Caranco, Harper, Mulipola, Palacios. It's been the bottom of the order setting the table for Arizona today.
Well, this is the hitter you want to go after right now. Caranco, she has the potential to plate some RBIs, but you don't want to get to Jessie Harper, Deja Mulipola with the bases loaded. You want to face them with 2 outs.
Not enough room for Puck to get there. Would have been a difficult decision even if she could. Because it would mean giving up a run making that catch. Mike Candrea liked the response to going down 6-0, and who wouldn't? They scored 3 runs in the top of the 4th, 1 across, and still threatening in the top of the 5th. Arizona, the visiting team here in Game 6 of the regional. That throw gets away into the dugout. The tying run will score. Arizona's come all the way back.
Look at the effort Caranco puts into this swing. This pitch is down at her shoelaces. She goes down to get it, takes it with her, and then this errant throw. Borgen not able to get to it. It goes into the Wildcats' dugout, and that's what allows that second run to score. Latham going to hit the cut. Instead, it goes nowhere. Caranco excited about that RBI, thinking she had one, but the play's not done.
She had been 0 for 7 in the regional and delivers one of its biggest hits. And that will be a pitching change for Ole Miss. Anna Borgen had worked out of trouble so many times. And it'll be Ava Tillman once again. Here's where we are. Arizona beat Ole Miss yesterday 12-6 and only needs to win once this game or a potential Game 7 to advance. Rebels coming out of the losers bracket have to win twice today to advance to the Super Regionals. Very different look going from Anna Borgen to Ava Tillman, Amanda.
And she keeps it down in the zone, which is a good thing against a team like Arizona. Forces that weak contact. Tillman's appeared in all games in this regional. She's really good in this relief type situation. And when you make these pitching changes at this point in the ball game, you're just trying to disrupt the timing of the opposing team. Allow your team to take a breath and give them a different look.
She got the win late last night, 2 scoreless innings closing it out after Borgen had started but not gone long enough to be credited for the victory. The numbers for Borgen, the defense didn't help her at times today. And it may very well not be the last time we've seen of Anna Borgen in this regional. But right now the focus is on Karanko, the go-ahead run at third base. And the hitter, they love her here, Jessie Harper. That heavy drop almost gets away from Gillespie with Karanko 60 feet away from giving Arizona the lead.
You just feel it. Harper wants it. This crowd wants it.
Tillman got her to ground out, Mulipola to strike out, and Palacios to ground out in relief yesterday. Past the drawn-in infield, through for a hit, Arizona in front.
But you don't want to come in too far against Harper. You have to respect the power, but then she just simplifies and hits it hard enough to get it through the infield to score her teammate Karanko.
From 6-0 down to a 1-run lead in the 5th. Not done yet, and that one caught Mulipola. Won't have to pitch to her, but more runners on base.
And a second straight hit by pitch from Mulipola. And you don't want to throw to her, but you're definitely not trying to hit her in this situation. Do not want to put more base runners on base. Palacios is coming up next, and we've seen what she's been able to do.
Arizona has threatened every inning in this game, but they have broken through in the 4th and the 5th, aided by 3 Ole Miss errors. Gillespie will try to pick it first. It's a close call. Sydney Gutierrez dropping the tag down.
Well, I love how Gillespie, even though everything else is going around her, she is still in it as far as catching. She is trying to pick runners. She is trying to shift momentum to help her team.
I think she likes to pick opposing catchers more than anybody else.
Well, she almost got Mulipola. You don't expect it in this. You're kind of amped up. Your team's scoring. You get a little bit of a bigger lead than you normally would. And then, boom, the back pick.
Palacios has provided the boom most of this tournament. Her sister's enjoying it a little bit more this inning. Crushed to the opposite field. Mulipola heads for the plate in safely. Arizona has taken over.
This is the second time we've seen Palacios go downstairs. Look at the location of that pitch. Gillespie's glove is in the dirt when Palacios makes contact. Into the gap in right center field. Mulipola sees it all the way. She's headed home from first. Another couple of runs score for the Wildcats.
I mean, Palacios hit her grand slam yesterday on a ball that was inches off the dirt. Apparently she's a low ball hitter.
Yeah, put that in your scouting book because she looks comfortable and she hits that with a lot of power.
Smile a mile wide after another extra base hit. And yeah, even her sister went to Arizona State, will wear Arizona gear when it comes time for the postseason. Palomino Cardoza 1 for 3, and we'll talk to Mike Candrea. Three runs in the fourth, 6 here in the fifth for Arizona to turn a 6-0 deficit into a 9-6 lead, and they're now 9 outs away from a Super Regional date with Arkansas. That's APC, Alyssa Palomino Cardoza.
Well, she's definitely a fan favorite. They've loved to watch her perform and been missing it all year long. We forget that this is the first weekend that this crowd has been at full capacity. So a lot of these fans haven't been able to come out and watch Arizona softball this season. This is a big treat for Alyssa Palomino Cardoza and the freshmen. Think about the freshmen on this Arizona team. They have yet to play in front of this crowd.
Smith just in time for the second out as Palacios holds second. Well, Carly Skupin started both of these rallies, doubled it in the fourth and scored. Lined out this inning in the fifth, leading off. Just again, to see her making solid contact all 3 times has to be such a big plus for the Wildcats. That gets away. Palacios to third.
Well, Tillman keeps the ball generally down in the zone, so when you see pitches like that going high and off the glove of Gillespie, you got to imagine maybe some nerves or a missed pitch, a little cross-up, but unlike Tillman to put that ball in that area off the plate.
She spent COVID working out in her backyard batting cage with her dad. Said, I can't wait to practice with somebody other than my dad. Everybody's got a story about what they did, with whom they were able to do it during the last year, really.
And I really do think that's why this year has been so special. I know I keep mentioning it, but when you talk to what these athletes and coaches have had to go through over the last year plus, and these seniors who have really taken on a leadership role and been versatile and flexible with all the restrictions in the fall and not being able to do what they normally do, but still leading a team and getting to this point in the season.
The most anticipated Women's College World Series ever. Six pitches now seen by Skupin from Tucson, right here in town. Ava Tillman trying to limit further damage. Not right now. 10-6 Arizona. How about Carly Skupin with 3 hits?
And this is really the type of luck offensively we saw Ole Miss experiencing in that first inning. Look at the location of this pitch. That's almost unfair. That should be an unhittable pitch. Bounces on the ground as Skupin's making contact. But Coach Candrea talked about those quick hands, the power through the zone. That's how she's able to get that through to the outfield, but unbelievable the breaks.
Their season ended here 2 years ago. Swept in the Super Regional. A lot of the same personnel for Ole Miss. And it is a big task coming out here and trying to get past Arizona. Had to play an extra game to get here, of course, beating Villanova last night.
And with 2 outs, the hits just keep coming. Now single after single, nothing really too big.
You don't often, as a pinch hitter, get to bat twice in 1 inning. But here's Isabella Dayton again. There's Isabella Dayton again. This time she drives 1 in. Second and third. The merry-go-round continues for Arizona.
as a pinch hitter, do you ever get 2 hits in 1 inning? Pinch hitting in both situations. Isabella Dayton jumping on the hit parade, slicing it just out of reach of Allie at shortstop, getting herself an RBI. Nobody wants to end this inning.
That's the story of the inning. Everybody running, everybody moving up, and everybody with smiles and applause at the end of it. Ole Miss has to go to the pen again. And you feel for Ava Tillman, who's done such great work in this regional. Game 6 of the Tucson Regional. Arizona now in the driver's seat. Hey, they could end this in 5 the way they're going. Trying to advance to the Super Regionals yet again. Ole Miss was off to such a great start. Led 6-0. Need to win this one and then would need to win the nightcap as well to reach Fayetteville. Landon Bruce in the circle. Freshman from Temecula, California.
Just getting some encouragement from her teammates. Hey, look, you know, it was a tall order coming into today, and Ole Miss is still not out of it. The way they've been swinging the bat, it's just this inning right now that has gotten away from them. They need to kill the momentum of Arizona, get back into the dugout. Landon Bruce doesn't have a ton of innings under her belt, but you know what, at this point, you're just trying to miss a hit, or miss a stick, I should say, because Arizona has been finding the holes everywhere in the field.
Janelle Mionio, the leadoff hitter, up for the 2nd time this inning. 2 doubles today. One a slap chopper and 1 hit to the fence. Look at that. 7 of 9 with at least 2 hits. Finally, mercifully, the inning ends. But Arizona gets 8 hits, puts up 8 runs, and is now 9 outs away from another trip to the Super Regionals. All Wildcats in the 5th.
And it's been all offense, all Wildcats, all inning long. But Ole Miss is not out. They'll have their chance at the bat coming up next.
Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. Talk about momentum changes. We saw it yesterday and it has benefited Arizona again today. 8-run 5th. The most Ole Miss has given up in an inning all year. And the Wildcats now in pole position to join these teams in the Super Regionals. These tickets punched, a couple more being decided right now. At least 2 from the Pac-12 on target to join the 7 from the SEC in the Super Regional. But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this regional, it feels like. Naomi Jones, the number 7 hitter, leads off the Ole Miss 5th. Tough play after the high chop. Harper showing out with the bare hand, but never going to catch Jones.
And Jones giving Arizona a taste of their own medicine, using that hard dirt. Nothing you can do to defend this. If Martinez gets this, if Harper, she barehanded it and still had no chance.
Where's Naomi Jones been all season? She's gotten some reps, but this has been a breakout regional for her. And she started last year, stole 11 bags. Making a case right now. I guess maybe not every infield bounce is quite like this.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. I'm curious how different fields play to her game differently, and if this is just right in her wheelhouse.
Ball and a strike to Michaela Alley.
But if you just look at her position in the box, she's not even trying to do anything other than what she just did, which is put it in the dirt right in front of home plate. You knew once it made contact that there was no shot.
Jessie Harper celebrating her 23rd birthday. Makes that catch for the first out. Celebrate with an RBI single, a couple RBI singles, and she hopes a dub. I don't know that Fayetteville would be everybody's choice for a birthday trip, but I think it would definitely be Jessie Harper's once the bracket came out.
You want to know an interesting fact, actually, now that you mentioned that, Jonathan, is Fayetteville is one of the best places in the SEC in terms of like living. I saw that in an article. I think it was the most desirable place to live in the SEC.
Well, I don't know why you're mentioning that to all the Ole Miss fans on here who are saying Fayetteville's got nothing. They got nothing on the Grove. But I was going to the Castle Playground in Fayetteville when I was about 4. So you and I can talk Fayetteville for a bit, and maybe next weekend we will. Arkansas and the winner of this one will hook up next weekend. What a season it's been for the Razorbacks. Kind of unprecedented success. Share of the SEC regular season title for the first time. They're the number 6 national seed. They'll get either Arizona or Ole Miss, and obviously Wildcats look good for it right now. But Tate Whitley, so good out of that 9 spot, is ahead 3-1, and the top of the Ole Miss order follows. Payoff pitch. It's kind of been home run hitters and slappers who have thrived as offenses have led the way in this regional.
Yeah, it's been a lot of excitement on the base pass as well. And every coach that we talked to coming in to this regional talked about the air, talked about the way the ball flies out of Hillenbrand.
Oh, she's called safe at first. It was tight, and Whitley is aboard.
That hard dirt's no secret either. It's either flying out of the ballpark or it's landing right there in front of home plate. That is so tough. Deja Mulipol is so good out of her crouch to get up and field that. I don't ever want to be the umpires on the base pass having to make those calls. They happen so quickly and are so close.
And that's got to be one of the considerations for replay. There's so many calls with such fine margins. We're not going to be able to take a look at every single one, are we?
Yeah, no, and I kind of like the human element, the human error element, or whatever you call that, but at the end of the day, you want the call to be right also, especially in the big games.
Thankfully, those decisions are made above our pay grade. It is a thankless job trying to get those right, and we have seen some spot-on calls this weekend. I'm still marveling at that foul ball call. That was half an inch. (0-2) to Behringer. Through the infield, and they'll hold Jones at third. Boy, she was thinking about it. She wanted to go, and Jamie Traxel said, hold up, I got Autumn Gillespie and Abby Latham coming up.
Yeah, you know the coach has to be thinking down the line also, because Jones has a lot of speed and it's so tempting to take that risk. And you could see how the ball bounced away from Deja as it comes in quickly from Alyssa Palomino Cardoza. Deja keeps it in front really well. But holding the bases loaded, Gillespie coming up, Latham to follow. Take my chances.
Yeah, I was about to say, in a one-run game, you probably send her there, but it's not worth risking the out, especially with the heart of the order up. There's Taryn Moat McKinney, of course, a legend in her own right as a player. We don't have time to go through that resume. We could be here all weekend. Autumn Gillespie, she's put together a resume this weekend.
Ooh, I think she wanted that one.
Look at that determination.
Now this is a super senior who's seeing her days numbered and doesn't want it to end tonight. She's in a huge situation here with the bases loaded. She's been doing great things all weekend. None bigger of an opportunity than this right here.
Hey, listen into the fans as she backs out here. Oh, they were all cheering the pitch. There it is. They're giving the old left, right treatment to Gillespie between pitches.
Brutal.
Down on strikes. And she's a catcher. You can't have too much to say there.
You know, I got to tip my hat to Mariah Lopez hitting this location. That is a beautiful pitch. And whether it's been called a strike all night or not, it's a little too close to watch go by with 2 strikes. Gillespie is not happy, and emotions are so high at this point.
Abby Latham doesn't like that one. Bobby DeMeo says, get in the box. And he just called her out for delaying it. Ole Miss was trying to get timeout called. He's called Abby Latham out for not getting in the box. Whoa. Naomi Jones just pushed an umpire. That is a no-no. Again, Ole Miss was trying to call timeout. And that's Katie Retkovich-Browder coming off the bench saying, I was calling timeout. One of the umpires may have seen her, so let's see how they straighten it out. Because Arizona's still on the field, we don't know if this is through yet. Now Mike like Candrea and Caitlin Lowe want an explanation.
You know, that crowd is so loud. It's hard sometimes to hear a coach trying to call timeout. There's a lot going on. Latham's trying to, get the sign and think about the situation.
Look, I know people are arguing balls and strikes and you're not supposed to do that, but I'm glad that they're going to let the players settle this and not call somebody out with the bases loaded because she was upset about a pitch call. I'd rather see the players decide it.
No, I agree.
He signaled out in real time. We're being told it may just be a strike.
Right, so to keep the game moving, there's a timing that has to happen. The hitter has a certain amount of time to get into the box, and from that time, 10 seconds starts for the pitcher to get on and throw the pitch. And there are violations for delaying. I think there was just some confusion when he motioned the strike.
And there's the shove from Jones, and she's just been replaced. And I don't know whether she was ejected or Ole Miss decided we're just going to run for you now. So they do assess a strike. It is an 0-2 count, and Maddie Banks is the runner at third. Bases loaded. After all that, Ole Miss strands the bases loaded, and Mariah Lopez is delivering for Arizona in the postseason. Boy, we had a wild fifth inning. This was the end of it. Abby Latham down on strikes after she was called for a timing violation during the at-bat and assessed a strike. Emotions running high, and Ole Miss trying to settle down in the dugout between innings. Jamie Traxel trying to turn them. See, Puck is the blonde head and the pointing finger in the middle of that huddle.
Yeah, she's not ready for this journey to end here, and this is not the team that they want to get back on that field. There are so many emotions in this tournament in general, so much riding on this game, and today Ole Miss has got to turn it around, turn the attitudes around, get back to playing the ball that they've been playing all weekend long. Otherwise, there's not a shot at getting through this first game.
We did confirm there was no ejection, so it was just pinch running at third with Banks for Jones, and obviously probably the right move to make sure cooler heads prevailed. So Arizona's batting in the sixth. The last time up, they scored 8 runs and sent 13 to the plate. Reina Caranco had the hit that tied the game. Jessie Harper and Deja Mulipola, who are pretty much must-watch TV at this point, going through the middle of the Arizona order, are waiting in the wings. Landon Bruce is in the circle, second time in this regional, and falls behind 3-0.
Bruce coming back strong. Great. Go ahead, talk about our all-tournament team.
Payoff pitch. Yeah, I started asking Amanda before the game, all right, who are we voting for all tournament teams? She said, what all tournament team? I said, y'all don't do that? So we're getting our own all tournament team ready, even if the NCAA doesn't officially do one.
We feel it's important to recognize these athletes that have come out and we've seen some great performances. You know, some were short at UMBC, not getting a ton of games, but they were fun to watch.
A couple of Northeastern programs on the rise in UMBC and Villanova. A Power 5 program that Ole Miss hopes is on the rise and Jamie Traxel intends to contend. And of course, one of the legendary programs of the sport, trying to go back to Oklahoma City for a second straight tournament. She got her home run early on Friday to hit 90 for her career. The NCAA career record is 95. Honestly, at the rate she's been going at this year, it feels like a long way off, but you wouldn't put it past her. And she wants to be a college head coach. She's already 1 year into her master's degree. Will be a grad assistant next year. And she was named the Pac-12 softball scholar athlete. Perfect 4.0 GPA in her graduate coursework this year. Her mom never short of words of encouragement. I think they've been driving back and forth, right? Sister McKenna plays for ASU as Jessie drives that one to the gap. No play at the plate. 12-6 Cats.
And this is really what the Wildcats have been waiting for, is just the constant run production. Jessie Harper, we know she can hit the long ball, but it's what she's been doing consistently, hitting the gap, scoring bases, or scoring runners. Reina Caranco all the way from first base. We've seen a lot of aggressive base running in today's game.
For 4 the first day. She's 4 for 5 since, with a couple homers and a couple times hit by a pitch. Out of the reach of Allie. Runners at the corners.
Going back in on Mulipola. She misses this ball, but look at that swing just out of the reach of Allie at short.
Charlize Palacios. I mean, this is an offense, Amanda, that had been held in check by Pac-12 pitching much of the year. Broken out in spurts, still prolific with the home runs, but this is the most consistent we've seen them deliver. And obviously it looks like they're going to have to take it up a notch against Mary Half in Arkansas next weekend.
Yeah, if this game were to hold and Arizona does advance into that super regional, it'll be interesting to see how this performance translates to that next level, facing those tough Arkansas pitchers. A similar look to the ones that were faced in the Pac-12, and Arizona struggled for a lot of the season. Came away with some big wins, but just wasn't as consistent as they wanted to be at the plate.
And it was the road games and their road record against ranked teams, against quality opponents, that had people questioning them, that dropped them to the number 11 seed. But I give them credit. They went and tested themselves, played at Florida State, at UCF and USF. I think it was USF. I remember them coming down here and played a whole 3-game series with Florida State. And they lost some of those. But you hope that that's going to give you the experience for when you face a road series in the Supers. No, they beat South Florida. They lost to Central Florida on that road trip. Get that straight. I want to short the American, which has had a good weekend.
We were talking about Palacios in that low zone. She dropped the knee on that one. Got to be careful. If it's down, it's got to be in the dirt.
Is that a catch or a drop? Everybody's waiting. The home plate umpire, Bobby DeMeo, is saying drop. He says the bases are loaded. And they're going to have to confer. The first base umpire, Alex Leap, may have a different take on things. If she caught it, it's a double play. And it is. Double play. Abby Latham held on long enough.
So much going on in this ball game right now. It's tough to tell, but this is a shot. The glove is definitely under, lifts it up. Holds on to it. No, that's a catch.
Allie Skaggs going to pinch hit. Second pinch hit opportunity of the weekend for her. True freshman. Both parents went to Arizona. Born in Tucson, finished high school in Tucson, was in Louisville in between. They've been Arizona fans for so long that being recruited by Caitlin Lowe and Mike Candrea was a big deal, not so much for her, but for her family. They were like, oh my goodness, legends in our house. So that's why you see Louisville as the hometown. Most of high school was at Louisville.
You don't see very many of these Arizona players on the roster from outside of California, Arizona, Texas, the surrounding states.
Down on strikes here. And it's one run across in the Arizona 6. 12-6. Hey, that score looks familiar. It was 12-6 yesterday. Ole Miss hopes to change that. Well, hey, no official designation, but John and Amanda picked some of our favorites for the all-tournament team. Little UMBC and Villanova representation, and obviously the bashers of Arizona and Ole Miss make up most of this.
Yeah, this was fun and actually very difficult to choose because there were some competing positions. Autumn Gillespie, Deja Mulipola, both producing at the plate, getting it done behind, catching these stabs. A lot of great pitching performances. I mean, heck, we could have had a team of 30.
Yeah, Mariah Lopez and Mariah Lopez, Malia Martinez probably could have helped them, or did help themselves with performances in this game. As Paige Smith, who was on there but is 0 for 3 today, leads off the Ole Miss 6th. 6 runs in 2 innings is certainly not insurmountable. So we'll see if Ole Miss has another comeback in them. Haven't scored since the third. Mariah Lopez giving up 2 runs, 1 earned in 4 innings of work. And it's kind of an X factor. We didn't know exactly what we'd get from Mariah Lopez, but again, the performance last weekend was encouraging. And what would Arizona do without her right now? How about that from Jessie Harper behind the bag? Range and arm in one package.
Now this ball behind second base when Jessie Harper fields it. She's got to get rid of that quickly. Just in time to get the out. It doesn't get much closer than this.
Carly scooping. Great stretch to help Harper out there.
Yeah, going back to Mariah Lopez, Jonathan, like you were talking, Coach Candrea said he really loved the way that she's been performing later in the season. She's working on using her legs more and just redefining herself as a pitcher, finding herself again. You know, somebody who came from a very successful career at Oklahoma, then becoming a part of a different culture. You look at her pitch count, but she's figuring it out, finding her way, and let's face it, she's a championship kind of pitcher, so she's comfortable in these situations.
Yeah, you face Florida in Oklahoma City with the national championship on the line. The regional's a big deal, but it's not quite that. Gutierrez retired by Mionio in left. Picked to finish last in the SEC. They wound up at 500, finished 8th. 5th straight NCAA tournament appearance. Gloved by Skupin, she caught it in the air, and the inning is over. Arizona's 3 outs away. We'll get one more look at those bats when the Wildcats come up in the top of the 7th. Time now for a look at our Capital One rewarding performance. The inning that wouldn't end. Arizona in the top of the 5th arrived trailing 6-3. After 8 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, they wound up leading 11-6.
This was just a tremendous hit parade by Arizona. Nobody wanted to end this inning. We were seeing balls hit off the ground to the outfield. Aggressive base running. Just forcing Ole Miss to make plays, but then finding small areas out in the grass. Indefensible hitting. Pinch hitting. That's Isabella Dayton. Got a couple of hits in that inning as a pinch hitter.
How about pinch hitters in this regional? Yesterday we had a pinch hit home run in the top and then a pinch hit home run in the bottom half of the inning in the Ole Miss Villanova game. Test sites for Villanova, Vitved for Ole Miss. And then today we have a pinch hitter get 2 hits in 1 inning, Isabella Dayton.
Well, it reminds you too that these rosters can be significantly larger than normal, and a lot of athletes that could be starting this season took a back seat because all these seniors are returning. So benches are deep.
Yeah, the Arizona freshman class in particular is absolutely loaded. Even players we haven't seen in this regional who are pretty much completely redshirting for next year are going to be contributors. This is Carly Scupin. She stepped right into the lineup. Quiet regional the first couple days, anything but in this one.
That opposite field power. Carly Scupin covers so much of the plate and then some. She fires so quickly with her hands that she can wait a little bit longer and still catch up with anything. Landon Bruce is going to keep her leaning outside, keep her going opposite field. See if she can sneak one in on the inside corner.
Did we mention bat speed? Did we say quick hands?
I like it. That's the right idea, though. You got her leaning. She's leaning further. A couple of foul balls deep opposite field. Landon Bruce went to the inside corner. It just wasn't far enough. But she got away with it. Scupin turned hard, pulled it foul.
Jessie Puck came to play in left field. I don't know if that would have hit the wall or gone over it, but she pulled it in.
Well, Jessie Puck has just had a really great night out there in left field. She's had to work for it, had a miscue early in the ballgame, but made a quick adjustment, caught a whole bunch, and then this, saving a potential home run. Great timing to pull it down.
You know, we talked about what seniors have gone through and the decisions they've had to make. Malia Martinez was into a doctor of physical therapy program at Northern Arizona. She wants to be a sports therapist, and there was no guarantee that they would let her defer that a year to come back and play softball. I don't know what the status of those plans are, where she'll be in some kind of grad school next year, but she's making the most of her time on the field. And her 11th homer of the year back in the fourth when it was a 6-0 game. She got them started.
And Malia
So
Martinez
UCLA's
down
on
in
to the
that.
super.
Oh, nice. Down to that 8th spot. She's kind of quiet thunder down there. She's overshadowed by the Harpers and the Mulipulas, but she holds her weight.
Sydney Gutierrez couldn't haul that in. But we're looking at the scores. UCLA in. Arizona looks in good shape as you go to Gutierrez. And Oregon with a lead on Texas right now has to win twice down in Austin. They're finally playing. They're just happy the weather cleared up. But of course, it took darkness to fall for the Pac-12 After Dark to get it done on the West Coast. Behringer throws out Martinez, and there are 2 away. Arizona 3 outs away from advancing to yet another super regional. winning regionals is normal for them. It's the College World Series that's eluded them a lot recently. Ole Miss needed a win in this one to force a second game, and they will be behind the 8 ball, batting in the bottom of the 7th, trailing by at least 6. Got off to a great start. It was 6-0 Ole Miss until the top of the 4th. Changes for Ole Miss. Take a quick break and come back with Arizona still at the... Anything can happen, including the Ole Miss head coach Jamie Traxel faking us out. She called in all 9 players, gave them all high fives, and went back to the dugout. She didn't bring anybody new into the game, so scratch that break. Isabella Dayton, who is now the right fielder, is up. Jamie Traxel trying to build a program. So many of these players, obviously not her recruits, just came in last April, has built those relationships and intends to take this program where it hasn't been before. Now we will go to break, and now we will get ready for potentially Ole Miss's last at bat of the season. They trail by 6 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. Arizona 12, Ole Miss 6. Arizona 3 outs away from joining this group of teams, advancing to the Super Regionals. Washington trying to come from behind against Michigan. Oregon trying to come from behind against Texas. And Arizona, another Pac-12 rep, closing in on a Super Regional berth thanks to an 8-run 5th as they rallied from a 6-0 deficit one day after taking an 8-0 lead themselves. Would be the second straight Ole Miss postseason to end in this facility. Lost here in the Super Regionals in 2019. And still trying to make it to that level of teams that expect Super Regionals and more every season. Gabby Alvarez will bat. Began the tournament as the DP. This is the spot Jones was removed from after the kerfuffle in the 5th.
You really had the sense at the beginning of this ball game that Ole Miss was in it for the night. They were going to go 2 deep, 2 games, and they rode it high at the beginning of that game. The way that they came out really made a statement on what kind of a culture they're building over there. And Arizona's just a postseason team. They found the rhythm at the right time. Ole Miss got in their way, but Ole Miss is a team I know is at the beginning of something great. They've been there before, and they are that team that can be there consistently every year.
Now ball and 2 strikes on Alvarez. Ole Miss veterans, part of the group that has again brought this program where it hadn't been. This is 5 straight regionals. 2 of those they've won at home to go to the Super Regionals. The Pac-12 has really been their nemesis, 1-7 against the Pac-12 in the postseason. And that's part of the process of building the program and building it up to new heights. Knocked down by Skupin, and the out recorded. Hasn't been a perfect defensive weekend for Arizona, but I feel like that defense is still a big part of what separated them from the other teams in this field.
I think so. Just plays like that, knocking it down, making the plays.
And we get to see Casey Vitved again, one of the best moments of the regional, her pinch hit homer yesterday against Villanova. That hit the screen. So it's just a foul ball. From Snohomish, Washington, all the way down to Ole Miss.
Ooh, good eye on a good pitch. Vitvet, a senior that you would imagine having to make a decision regarding next year and getting some fun opportunities in this last weekend of the season.
That stayed in play. 2 down.
And Wooly Pola, she's so good at finding the ball up out quickly, finds the fence and makes the out.
Traxel asking if it did hit the screen, and the umpires will confer. Arizona trying to complete its biggest comeback win of the year. Trailed 6-0 at the start of the 4th. Kelsha Lofton will get another AB here. Seen her as a pinch runner and a pinch hitter in the regional. Potentially the last at bat, the last game for she and other Ole Miss seniors. And if it is her last at bat, she'll have a smile on her face for the base hit.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, you don't want to think about it, but you do, about what softball's given to you your whole career and potentially facing your final at-bat of what was a storied career. Lofton takes advantage of it, gets herself a hit. There's so many emotions in this game.
Blaze Behringer, just a freshman, tremendous tournament. But speaking of tremendous tournament, how about Mariah Lopez? She's going to get 2 of the 3 wins for U of A, when I think a couple weeks ago she was an afterthought to be in the mix for innings.
Yeah, Coach Candrea loving that he's getting some good innings out of Mariah Lopez when it counts.
Great grab by Harper, and Arizona's off to the Supers again. What a year for Ole Miss, and what a start to this one at 6-0 up. But what a comeback from the big bats of Arizona.
I'll tell you, I'm so impressed with the way that Ole Miss came out into this tournament with something to prove. They put on a show. Arizona just turned up the heat offensively when they needed it. They haven't had their bats like this all season long. Made a big comeback in this game and held on to that momentum till the end. A great performance by Mariah Lopez coming into the ball game and settling the offensive danger Ole Miss has brought. Arizona has got to feel good about where they are in this season heading into the Supers.
They close out Hillenbrand Stadium for the year with a comeback to remember. Arizona 12, Ole Miss 6, the final. Thanks so much for joining us and joining our colleagues around the country for college softball coverage this weekend. For my partner Amanda Freed and our great crew in Tucson, too many names to give you, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Thanks for joining us. What a tournament. Arizona comes from behind to win it. The Wildcats off to the Super Regionals. Arizona, Arkansas next week.